Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today we've got lots of updates. I've got some updates from Canada as well as Norwegian, a really exciting luggage service that's going on in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm hoping, based on what they say, it's going to roll forward to some other ports as well as some onboard ship updates. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members. Thank you for coming today. It's great to be with you. Also, welcome to all of you who are new. We are really excited to have you with us. If there's anyone here who has not subscribed to our channel yet, we would love it if you would consider subscribing. It'll make you a member of our Let's Go family, and it will help you stay up to date with everything that you need to know if you are thinking of going on a cruise or just like to think about cruising right now. So I wanted to start off by saying that if you didn't see my video from yesterday, today is March 2nd, so it would be March 1st, make sure that you take a look at it, because I outline all of the information that Princess has given so far about where they are requiring masks and where they are not requiring masks. You might recall that yesterday, March 1st, is the day that the mandatory mask guidance went away. They still recommend it, but they do not require it indoors all the time. But there are indoor areas that they require it. There are places on excursions and a whole lot of other things that I think you are probably going to want to know about if you're planning to cruise with Princess. As I looked through the protocols for some of the other cruise ships, like Royal Caribbean, that one seemed very similar. And Norwegian, of course, they do not require masks at all. But I just wanted to make you aware of some of those, of that video, because I think that it's really valuable. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about today, I think it's really exciting. Norwegian today, March 2nd, finally they are resuming some more of their ships sailing again. The Norwegian Sky is going to start sailing out of Miami today, and they are just kicking off a whole year of doing cruises down to the Bahamas and to the Caribbean. So this first sailing is a 5-day trip that's going to go to Cozumel, Key West, and also they get to stop at the Great Stirrup Cay, which is Norwegian's private island there in the Bahamas. And so it sounds like they're off to a really great start. And then later this month, on March 29th, the Norwegian Jewel is going to start sailing again, so that's great. And they're going to go on a Panama Canal and West Coast cruise, and then she'll end up in Alaska for the summertime. And then the day just right after that, on March 30th, the Norwegian Jade is going to go ahead and welcome guests back on board with some Eastern Mediterranean sailings. And I don't know, the Eastern Mediterranean, that might be my very favorite place of all. I guess that Italy is, you know, a little Western Mediterranean, and I just love Italy. But anyway, that just sounds fabulous. And the Norwegian Jade is the one that we're scheduled to be on at the beginning of May next year. And so I sure hope that cruise still gets to go. It's the one that I keep telling you about because I'm so excited, that's going to go up through the Bosphorus Strait there by Istanbul up into the Black Sea and visit a bunch of ports there. And it's in and out of Athens. So if you're interested in that, you should shoot me an email, because it's going to be an amazing cruise. And I know lots of people have told me that Norwegian is not Princess, and I get that. But Princess doesn't have that itinerary up there, and I think that we're going to just thoroughly enjoy it. So I wanted to tell you that. The next thing that I wanted to let you know is, I have so many people asking me about Canada all of the time. And on February 28th, Canada redid some of their restrictions to do with travel. Now, Canada has their own website that they have all of their information if you want to visit Canada. And it's really kind of interesting. As you first go, just Google travel, Canada travel, and I will put a link below this video for you. But it has a little questionnaire, and you check the box that applies to you, and then it will let you know if you're going to be allowed to go to Canada. And so I followed the little check boxes to do that, just to go for tourism, just for a nice time. And it ends up that if you want to go to Canada for tourism, you're going to need to be vaccinated. They are not, according to their website and all of the information that we've got, they are not going to be letting unvaccinated people in just for leisure. If you want to go and you're not vaccinated, you're going to have a very specific reason. And like I said, it's not for tourism. So I wanted to let you know that right up front. And then also, and you know what, I did not see right off the process for applying for an exemption from that. I'm sure that there is one, but I just wanted to tell you that. We also, they gave a checklist of what you are going to have if you are going to either do a land border crossing or if you are going to fly in. And so I think I have mentioned before that I think that a land crossing is going to be easier. Just from the standpoint that when you fly in, then you are there in Vancouver and you have to go through everything at the airport. I think that it seems much simpler, just from my standpoint, to go ahead and have everything that Princess will be telling us that we need to have. Then you get on that bus, the shuttle, the coach, whatever you want to call it, and you travel from the Seattle airport up to the port in Vancouver. Now, when we traveled, like I mentioned before, we went from Anchorage to Vancouver on a Princess cruise, and then at the port in Vancouver, we got on the Princess shuttle and went to the Seattle airport, and that was in 2017. And so when we came to the border crossing, they had collected everyone's passport. They showed it to the people there at the crossing, and it was very expeditiously handled. Everything was in order. They looked at it, made sure that, they just kind of went through and looked and made sure your picture matched your passport, and you were ready to go again. And so I think that is really going to be helpful rather than just flying in separately to Vancouver. Now, I do want to say I have not done that, especially since COVID. I have not flown into Vancouver, and so I'm not suggesting that it's miserable, but I just think I tend to worry more. I'm a very risk-averse person, and so I kind of want things to go as smoothly as possible, and that's what I'm thinking. And so anyway, when you get there, whether you are coming into Canada on a flight or if you're crossing at the border, you are going to need to sign up through that Arrive Canada website that they have got, and I would be really surprised, honestly, if that goes away by the time we get to the Alaska cruise season. I'm hoping that they will work with the cruise lines, and maybe the cruise lines can require some information so that they won't have to do that, but I'm not so sure about that. But luckily, I looked at it. I did not register myself the whole way because they want you to finish doing it within 72 hours of going to Canada, so I didn't want to mess up my account in that program. But you can go ahead, and all you have to do, it looks like, is you have to show, you have to upload a copy of your vaccination card. I was mixing that up with a passport. So you're gonna, or whatever your proof of vaccination is, you're going to have to upload that into the system, and you're going to have to just put in, your personal information, where you're going, that kind of thing. And then when you're all done, it's going to give you a code, and it will have the letter L or V or an A beside the vaccinated traveler's name. And so then you just show that. And so I am thinking that, like, if you get there and you're on the shuttle bus to cross, that will just, you'll just have it right there with your passport. And you also need to bring along with you a copy of your proof of vaccination, that even though it is uploaded into the system, you're going to need to get on the ship anyway, but you're going to also have to have it there. So you'll just want those things right there with your passport when you cross the border, or if you decide to land. And then you also are going to have a quarantine plan. So everything that I have read about that, you just simply have to say, if for any reason I test positive, I'm going to quarantine, like at this hotel, or things like that. And I do think that Princess is going to give us some guidance on that. And so I do think it's really important that we wait to get all of the details from Princess when they have that all firmed up. But I just get so many questions that I wanted you to know that I really do think that this is doable. As you know, I hated that we had to cancel our cruise on May 2nd, but we're actually looking at another one out of Vancouver this summer as well. And so I think it's manageable. If I didn't think it was manageable, there's no way I would consider booking it. And so I just wanted to let you know that. And so the other thing that is really important when you're going to go to Canada is the test. They have updated that they will now allow an antigen test within 24 hours of getting to Canada, or you can do a PCR test within 72 hours. And they point out that it is really important to remember that, like, if you are going to be on a flight into Canada and it leaves like at 11 a.m. on a Friday, you need to get your test done before 10:59 a.m. on Tuesday. So that gives you the Tuesday to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that gives you the 3 days for your PCR test, but be aware of the time. Another thing, so when you're thinking of your antigen test, if you are doing your test within 2 days of getting on the ship, you might have to tuck in and do another test as you prepare to cross the border. Just kind of look at what your timing is going to be and when you're going to be doing your 2-day test. I also think that, you know, if you're just flying up to Seattle, you could just do a test at home before you go, so you're not positive and don't know it. But then once you arrive at your hotel, you could just have with you one of those Optum tests that you order from Optum or eMed. They're the Binax Now from Abbott Laboratories, and they're the ones that you do with a healthcare professional on a video call with you. And you could just do that there in the comfort of your own hotel. You'd have your results emailed to you, and then those would work both for boarding the ship and for getting into Canada. So I just kind of wanted to let you know about that. If anybody has any questions about this, tuck them in the comments below. They do have like a list of requirements for people who have recently required from COVID, but they are specific enough that I think that if that is the situation you're in, you should go ahead and read through those so that you're sure that you're prepared, okay? So that's everything about Canada right now. I also want to let you know about that service that we mentioned when we were on the Caribbean Princess and coming back into Port Everglades there in Fort Lauderdale. They have got the luggage offer that what they actually do is for $25 a person, they will actually give you your boarding passes while you're still on the ship, as well as your luggage tags. And then you just put your luggage outside your stateroom door like we usually do the night before disembarkation, and they will take your luggage, take it to the airport, check it on your flight, and you don't see it again until you get to your home airport and you're there at baggage claim to pick up your bags and head home. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that they offer this at the Port of Fort Lauderdale, and I am really grateful to our Let's Go family member. We had someone so kindly post it over on our Facebook group, and then someone else, I think it was a different person, sent me an email of it as well. So I really appreciate all of you. And I am really hopeful that this is going to start showing up in other ports because it is actually on the Princess letterhead and it is sponsored by Princess. And so if anyone else in the Let's Go family is cruising right now, will you let us know if you see it in any of the ports that you're going in and out? I know that last year they had it in Seattle when we went last August, but it was offered by the port there, and this is actually offered by Princess. And so it just says that you check in your flight while you're on board, you get your boarding pass and your luggage tags. And like I said, it's only $25 per person service fee. And what the rules are is your flight has to leave 11:30 or later on the day that you disembark the ship so that they have time, of course, to get the luggage to the airport. So if you leave earlier than that, you're going to have to take care of your own luggage. And then they also have the rule that for Southwest Airlines, you have to, your flight has to depart between 11:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. And the other airlines don't have a time restriction other than your flight needs to be after 11:30. And in Fort Lauderdale, the airlines that are participating there are Alaska Airlines, American Airlines, Delta Airlines for domestic flights only, JetBlue Airways, Southwest Airlines, and United Airlines. And they do list that there is a per bag service fee. And honestly, I am not quite sure, and maybe some of our Let's Go family members who have done this before can let us know, that there is a per baggage fee. And I don't know if this is the airline's fee or if this is an extra fee. I couldn't quite figure it out, and I have read the whole page. So if anyone can comment on that, let us know. I know that I believe it was Debbie that let us know that when the Port of Seattle does it, that you just have to pay the fee on the ship, but you don't have to pay the per baggage fee, because if you've got like loyalty with an airlines, like Gordon and I have loyalty with Delta, and so we never pay to check any bags. And so if it was going to cost us on a per bag basis, I probably wouldn't do this, because sometimes I'm cheap on things that I don't, that don't matter to me. And so I just wanted to make sure you knew this. And one really nice benefit of doing this is that if you have a really heavy suitcase and it's over the weight limit, like domestically usually it's 50 pounds just for riding in regular economy and first class, it's usually 75. They don't make you pay those overage fees. And so that's a really nice thing. If you have a really heavy suitcase, if you bought more on your trip than you expected, this is a really, really good option. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows about this. And I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you about that. We've also got an onboard update from one of our Let's Go family members. She so very kindly sent me an email. She's on the Majestic Princess right now, sailing over in the Pacific Ocean. And she was kind enough to let us know that right now, this week on the ship, there are 1,352 passengers, and that's approximately 50% of capacity. It's a little less. And then the casino is still non-smoking there, and that is what we are seeing in the information I shared with you yesterday in the video all about masks. She double checked in the laundry room for us, and you can do laundry with cold water, warm water, or hot water. And she also says that there are 2 shows every night in the Princess Theater, one at 7 p.m. and one at 9 p.m. So today, like I mentioned, is March 2nd. And so March 1st, yesterday, is when she sent this to me. And she said that other than just a quick announcement, just when, you know how around noon they kind of give the nautical report and say how far you've traveled and where you are and all that. She said right after that, they just mentioned that that masks are required in the theater, the casino, and the medical center, but they didn't talk about a change in the mask policy. And so she went down to the purser's desk and just asked if they had any other information on that. And they said that no, in certain areas, you know, now you didn't have to wear your mask, but he said that there would be no written communication about it. And they were hoping that passengers would still wear their masks a lot indoors to try to help not share so many germs and maybe not spread the virus quite so much. She said that as of yesterday afternoon when she sent this, people were still wearing their mask a lot indoors in the ship, and some were wearing it outdoors still. So I thought that was really interesting. It's interesting kind of how the different ships are handling it a little bit differently, even though they're on the same cruise line. Yesterday I told you about, I think it was the Sky Princess and maybe the Ruby. So anyway, she just finished up with saying that the food is wonderful, service is terrific, our cabin and bed are so comfortable. The Grand, you know what, she's on the Grand Princess, not the Majestic Princess. I apologize. And I love that she says you would never guess that she is our oldest ship. The Grand Princess indeed is. So I just wanted to let you know about that update. The other update that I have got for you today is from Gretchen, and she is on the Sky Princess. She says there are 1,885 passengers this week, and they have been told that next week they are going to have approximately 2,300 passengers. So clearly we're getting more passengers the further we get away from Omicron, and I think that's just wonderful. And it should be a real boon to the cruise lines as well to be able to sail with more passengers. She said that they did get the note about masks yesterday, like I shared with you in the video yesterday. And she said that her favorite thing about a little bit of the masking going away is getting to see people's smiles again. And I agree with her on that. I just love seeing people's smiles. I have 2 other fast updates for you. Excuse me. One is that if you are going to be on the Emerald Princess on April 3rd, mark this on your calendar now. Some of our Let's Go family members are going to just have a meet and greet kind of get together at Crooners at 6:45 p.m. And so if you would like to be part of the magic, you just come and be there at 6:45 p.m. And my other question, it is my only question today. So Kim and our Let's Go family is going to be sailing to the Panama Canal on March 3rd. And I was wondering, is there anyone else here who will be on that sailing? She was wondering, she came to our live the other evening and it didn't seem like anyone mentioned in the chat that they would also be on that cruise. So we would love to hear from you if you'll be on that cruise. So I really appreciate you sticking with these updates today. I apologize. I am much later than we usually are. We've had some technical trouble today and just a lot going on. And so tomorrow we will be back to being on time, and we have really exciting news about the cruises that are going to the Baltic. So look forward to hearing all about that. I wanted to give a couple of other cruise lines a little bit more time to perhaps release something before I tell you all about it. So that will be our big story for tomorrow, plus anything else that we've got to talk about. So if you appreciate these updates, would you please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button? I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.